Today in the dailies, it is sacked doctor over removal of patient's kidney. We will not fail. PDP faction assure Nigerians after meeting with INEC PDP. We will show terrorist sponsors no mercy, says Tinubu. APC group rejects zoning of governorship tickets. Gunmen abduct murder, 3 children, 5 others in Kogi. Good morning, our listeners all over the world and at home. We welcome you this morning to today's In The Dailies, here at 24 News Radio and Television, situated and located in Ado Ekiti. I am Samuel Akinteye. And in our news today, we have various newspapers for you. We have Vanguard, we have The Punch, The Nation, This Day. All right, let me start from the Vanguard. Ekiti sack doctor over removal of patient kidney. The Ekiti state government has dismissed a medical doctor at the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, Ado Ekiti, over a surgery involving a patient, Joshua Afolayan. The state also suspended the surgical team present during the operation for 1 month. Afolayan, who said he visited the hospital following an accident, alleged that his 2 kidneys were removed during the surgery without his consent. He claimed that a test result before the procedure had shown that one of his kidneys was functional while the other was not, only to discover that the functional one was allegedly removed during the operation. Following the allegation, the government set up a 7-man panel of inquiry chaired by Professor Francis Faduyile to investigate the incident. Saturday Punch gathered that the panel recommended that the dismissal of the surgeon who performed the procedure. Ekiti State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Oyebanji Filani, stated in Ado Ekiti on Friday following a thorough review of action before, during, and after the operation, it was confirmed without any doubt that this was a case of surgical complication and not organ harvesting for rituals as alleged. Upon careful review of the panel's report and recommendation, the Ekiti state government has approved the following action. The surgeon who had primarily responsible for the surgery is to be dismissed from the service of Ekiti State Teaching Hospital with immediate effect. All members of the surgical team present in the theater on the day of the operation are to be suspended from duty for a period of 1 month, pending further administrative review. Necessary reform will be prayed to ensure that incidents of this nature do not reoccur and that EXUT continue to serve as a center for excellence in patient care. Filani added that the government would cover the full cost of a new kidney transplant for Afolayan and would take responsibility for his post-transplant care and related medical maintenance for 2 years. He reiterated the government's commitment to protecting patients, upholding ethical and professional standards in healthcare delivery, resorting and sustaining public confidence in Ekiti State health system. The commissioner further stated, in line with the panel recommending a comprehensive recognition of relevant departments within EXUT will be undertaken to strengthen clinical government accountability and patient safety. Ekiti sacked doctor over removal of patient kidney. And this takes me to the Punch newspaper, where we are headings which I took from the Punch newspaper. PDP will not fail. Party factions assure Nigeria after meeting with NEC. The two warring faction of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on Friday said the party remained on course and would not disappoint Nigerians. The party national chairman, Taminu Turaki, made the statement in a separate interview with journalists shortly after the factionists met with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. The Mbatu National Secretary, Senator Samuel Ayawu, also spoke to reporters in separate interview following the meeting. We want to assure Nigeria and indeed our party members that we are on course. We shall continue to remain on course by the special grace of God, Turaki said. Turaki acknowledged that the meeting was held at the invitation of INEC to resolve the lingering leadership crisis within the party. He said that why his led a national working committee attended the meeting, they discovered that some former PDP members who had previously been expelled were also invited. He added that both sides engaged in discussion with the commission. We had spoken with him from our own perspective. We have made a presentation of what we think the issues are. We've spoken to the issue and INEC has listened to us. He said, we promise that no matter what, PDP will not fail. We assure Nigerians that we will do our best so as to ensure that PDP do not fail. We will show terrorist sponsors no mercy. Yes, this news is coming from the nation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has vowed that his administration will show no mercy to terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and their sponsors. He also declared a renewed offensive against violent crimes as part of a sweeping reset of the country's security articulation. Tinubu made the pledge while presenting the 58.18 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly on Friday. As earlier, the Federal Executive Council approved the budget framework at an emergency meeting presided over for the first time by the Vice President Kashim Shettima. The proposed budget is titled Budget of Consolidation, Renewed Resilience and Shared Prosperity. The President earmarked 5.41 trillion naira for defense and security, the single largest allocation in the proposed budget. This marks the third consecutive year that defense and security spending has taken priority since the administration began presenting national budget in November 2023. We will show terrorist sponsors no mercy, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. APC group rejects zoning of governorship ticket. This is coming from the Punch as well. An All Progressive Congress prayer group in Kwara State. The Kwara political leaders of thought has kicked against call for zone the party's governorship ticket ahead of the 2027 general election, insisting that leadership choice should be based on competence rather than senatorial consideration. The group's position comes amid growing agitation by some political leaders and groups in Kwara North Senatorial District, demanding that the APC zone the 2027 governorship ticket to the area. Speaking with journalists in Ilorin on Friday, the KPLOT leader Muhammad Miriam Hassan said the ideal candidate to govern Kwara in 2027 could emerge from any of the three senatorial districts, north, south, or central, provided such a person possesses the capacity to address the state's mounting challenges, especially insecurity. We as a group believe that leadership positions should be about competence and track record and not solely on sectional sentiment as being pushed by some people. Such persons should be searched across the senatorial district of Kwara in order to present a capable and competent candidate that will consolidate the work and gains of President Tinubu in our state. Al-Hassan urged the APC national leadership and the presidency to exercise caution in decision regarding the party's governorship ticket, warning against what he described as sentimental and turn-by-turn politics. Kwara is facing an unprecedented security crisis that leaves no room for emotional or sectional political. APC group rejects zoning of governorship ticket. From Vanguard News, I find this: gunmen abduct mother, 3 children, 5 others in Kogi State. Gunmen on Friday abducted 9 persons, including a woman and her 3 children, in Inele Ugo, a village in Iga, Ikeje community, or Lamboro local government area of Kogi State. The incident reportedly occurred in the early hour of Friday when more than 40 armed men stormed the community. The woman and her 3 children were said to be on their way to another community for a burial when the gunmen intercepted them and took them into the forest. 5 other victims were reportedly abducted from their farms during the attack. An eyewitness said the number of the attackers and the weapon they are carried scared local vigilante members from confronting them. Following the attack, the community reportedly sent distress calls to troops of the 12th Brigade of the Nigerian Army stationed at a checkpoint within the area. However, the soldier arrived after the gunmen had already fled into the forest. Gunmen abduct mother, 3 children, 5 others in Kogi State. Glad to know that you are still with us on this station, 24 News Radio and Television, situated here in Ado Ekiti. All right, I find this from these days newspaper. Ekiti Agro Allied Cargo Advance. It was a privilege to witness the commissioning of the Ekiti Agro Allied International Cargo Airport last week. It was a momentous, uplifting occasion Truly an experience of being part of history in the making, for reasoning that go far beyond the tarmac. Key for me in that is that Ekiti is finally ready to become a logistic hub for the region. What was witnessed on December 10, 2025 in Ekiti State when Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji inaugurated a 49.77 billion naira airport was a reconfirmation. It reconfirmed that a deliberate economy program is essential to achieving economic prosperity in the near term. For historical accuracy, former Governor Kayode Fayemi foresight in initiating the project must be commended. But in a country riddled with childlike rivalries and repudiations, Oyebanji had shown great maturity and tactical element by seeing this initiative to fruition. This should be a sovereign lesson for all. Ekiti Agro Allied Cargo advance. And coming to the last part of the news for today's episode, this is taken from This Day News. Aisha Buhari reveals ex-president's cause of death. Former First Lady Aisha Buhari has disclosed that the late former President Muhammadu Buhari, died of pneumonia and not cancer. Mrs. Buhari disclosed this while recounting her husband's final day on earth. Buhari died in mid-2025 in London clinic and was flown back to Nigeria, where he was buried in his hometown, Daura, Katsina State. Recounting Buhari's final day, the former First Lady said it was difficult for the ex-president. This revelation was contained in Buhari's biography titled From Soldier to Statesman, The Legacy of Muhammadu Buhari, authored by Charles Omoli. She said the final days were difficult. I see you for some days, then the word, then the slide. The last 3 days were the worst. Aisha Buhari blamed her late husband's illness to decades of physical exposure dating back to his times in military. We sincerely appreciate you for joining us for today's episode of Today in the Dailies. Till next time we'll be seeing again, I remain your favorite host, Samuel Akinteye. Thank you, God bless you, and have a lovely Saturday.
And television. Can you think? Welcome to 24 News Radio and Television, your trusted companion for real-time updates, expert analysis, and compelling conversations. We bring the world closer to you with clear, credible, and concise information at every moment. With our seasoned reporters and sharp broadcasters, we dig deep to uncover the facts behind the headlines from your neighborhood